I do not have much of a YouTube presence, but I'm going to be on the show with the Kentucky Atheists in a few days. So I wanted to get something online, talk about my story. Um, I am an atheist living in Western Kentucky, and I'm going to be on his show talking about my path to sobriety from alcohol. And I wanted to share a few things about that before I got on there and just have at least a video people could click on and maybe subscribe. I My path to sobriety started almost 2.5 years ago. I used to be a pastor. I grew up Southern Baptist. I did not start drinking a drop of alcohol until I was about 2 years into ministry as a Southern Baptist minister. There's a lot of reasons for that I'll go into at some other time. But I have a family history of alcoholism. And once I got started, I did not stop. I'm a person who, once I start with one drink, I cannot absolutely put it down. Didn't realize it was a problem for me until really COVID rolled around, and I was probably 13 years into solid drinking about a fifth of alcohol a night at times. And I work a second shift job, so I could do that. I wasn't a violent drunk, but I would get angry or drink to blackout and send out stupid Facebook messages or get on Twitter and argue with people and would not remember it the next morning. Lots of regrets I had. And I, turning point for me was I woke up one morning and realized I had ordered about $300 worth of NFL kicker cards. Now, you've probably gotten close to rock bottom when you make 150 different orders for NFL kicker cards, which is a completely different story, and they come in 150 different shipments to your house. And I realized that, and the way that I was talking to my family, just bitter and being angry and anxious all the time, was not a good way to live. I'd tried stopping a few times before. I tried Celebrate Recovery. Um, I had tried other programs that were self help, but I finally got on Reframe, which is an app that you can download, and I'll share more about that in a minute. And that app changed my life, saved my life. It's it's an app that does not include religion. Of course, Alcohol Anonymous, you have to have an higher power. Celebrate Recovery is a program that's run through churches and it includes a lot of worship. And if you are a person who is not a faith and does not have a faith community or a faith background, you are not going to feel comfortable there. And a lot of the programs that, if you need to go into the court system or go into drug rehab, they're going to assign you to Alcoholics Anonymous or they're going to assign you to Celebrate Recovery and get a sheet check. I know I never had to go through the court system, but those are the things that are suggested to you strongly. So I found Reframe. It's an app you can download and it deals with science, the science of the brain. And I love science. And I got on there, found a home, found the science, followed the science, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And about 3 months in, my wife at the time, I started having cravings again. And there was a community on there, and you could go to meetings and you can find people. And she said, you might need a little extra help. Every time I tried to quit before that moment, I had never had community help. I'd always tried to do it myself. And the nice thing about Reframe is you can reach out for extra coaching. And Reframe will give you a month for free if you sign up with a referral code, which I'll leave a link for down below. Um, I got coaching help. I got one-on-one coaching help. And for all the times I tried before, I tried to do it on my own. And if you're going to get sober from anything, or if you're going to stop any kind of addiction, you cannot do it by yourself. You have to want to get better. One, if you're an addict from anything, people telling you that you have a problem is not going to help. People getting on to you or people doing intervention typically is not going to help. You have to be the one that decides that, hey, I've had enough. And I'd had enough. And I got on Reframe. I got help from an individual who basically saved my life. And I also branched out and found a community of about 5 people who get me through my day. And if I have a problem, I talk to them. And I also made a plan to get through each and every day. There's an acronym that I learned on there. It's called HALT. And if it helps you discover what your triggers are, my triggers are being hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. And if I find myself being hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, I know I need to shore those things up. And if I shore those things up, I know that I will keep myself away from triggers. And I also keep an eye on any other triggers that might come along that have to do with my past or trauma or anything like that. And that's been a big help to me. And also knowing that the program is not religiously based, it's very scientifically based. And I think would be a big help to anybody who is not in the faith community. It's been a big deal for me. Um, I have like I said, a referral code that if you're interested, it'll give you a month free, so you can check it out and go through there and cancel at any time if you like. The coaching on there will cost you, I think, $70 a month extra. But think about for a moment, if you are alcohol dependent, and you want to be alcohol free, and they also offer an option that if you just want to moderate your drinking, they do that as well. Meetings they have every day. It's included in the program. You jump on a meeting and get encouragement, and you can learn from people. The forums are on there, are part of the program. But I think the yearly membership is $79.99, or you can pay for it monthly. But the coaching I think is $79.99 a year. I think. Don't quote me on that. But if you think about how much you were spending on alcohol at any given time, you would definitely be paying that probably in a month. It keeps track of how much money you're saving on alcohol. It keeps track of your days. It celebrates with you. And I lurked for a while in the forums, and in the meetings until I finally started speaking out. That's when I found friends. And right now I've got a group of 5, like I said, 5 people who helped me out. It changed my life. Um, Most importantly, I got clear headed. I didn't realize the science of it. And the science showed me that my brain had been programmed by alcohol to keep wanting alcohol. And the program early on shows you how your brain has been wired over and over and over again to keep going back to alcohol, especially in times of high stress. And COVID was a bad time for me. I know a lot of the people in the forums on Reframe talk about how COVID was a huge stressor for them, and people drank heavily during COVID and they just never seemed to get over it. So if that's a concern for you, if you're looking for a place to recover or find a fresh start, or at least just give it a try and maybe just try setting a streak for yourself and just take it one day at a time. If you haven't even been 2 or 3 days sober in a long time, I would strongly suggest that would be a place to start. Um, my reframe code, if you enter it in, it's the letter K, then R, then 62TT. That's KR62TT. And if you enter that referral code, you'll get your first month free. And I think it would be a big help to you. There's also during when I got sober, and this was a huge deal to me. About 6 months into my sobriety, that's when I started questioning my faith. I'd been a Southern Baptist Christian pastor, raised in a very strict fundamentalist household, that I really had a chance to get my mind clear and started thinking about matters of faith. And about 6 months into being sober, that's when my thinking about religion and my faith really started to change. And you will be amazed if you decide to go alcohol free, how much of your anxiety will be gone, how much your family relationships will change, how much of your daily thinking will change, and how much more time you'll have to think about things you've never thought about. And more importantly, you'll have a chance to think about you and take care of you instead of drowning out all that trauma and all that pain that you may have and all those things that are going wrong in your life. You will have time to spend just with you. And if that's an improvement you want to make, I strongly suggest. And I'm not a pitch man for Reframe. I don't get a commission from them. I wish I did, but I do know that it changed my life, and it's a great option for anyone who's looking to make a change. So that's all I want to share with you today. I look forward to seeing you all on July 1st on the Kentucky Atheist channel, and have a good night.